Mm-hmm. Smells good too.
Oh, where'd you come from? Where'd you come from? Hmm?
Don't forget me.
Okay, so while I got the camera out,
Okay.
I want everybody to say something that they remember about cousins, Perry's, or anything.
Okay.
Start with you, Denise.
Oh, gosh.
Okay. Best times were at Grandma and Grandpa Perry's at the farm. When we were kids, we would play the thimble game.
Dimple game?
Thimble.
Thimble.
Thimble game. And we would get these aluminum glasses that Grandma had and fill them with either hot or cold water. We'd have these little thimbles and we'd play a guessing game. So we'd be sitting there in those metal chairs playing a guessing game. You know, what color am I thinking? And whoever guesses the right color, the person who is playing the game has a thimble full of water and they throw it in their face. That was a thimble game, and that's one of the fond memories of the farm.
Okay, David. You're part of the family too, so.
I got nothing.
Oh,
I remember going to, I think when I entered the family was when, it was after Grandpa Perry died and there was an auction at the farm.
Mm.
So, and that's when I think I first became introduced to a lot of the cousins.
Mm.
And I remember it took me about 5 years to finally figure out kind of who was who.
I used to be so mad at you.
You what now?
I used to be so mad at you.
At me?
Yeah,
Why?
because you're taking Denise away.
Are you forgiving me yet?
Yeah, I guess.
Good.
I'll have to. Okay, Bill, your turn.
What are we doing?
Oh, I guess a memory I have of this family when I didn't know anybody, and there were so many names, is I played my guitar at a picnic at your granddad's farm under the pine trees. There were rows and rows of pine trees, and everybody was having
Planted those trees.
a picnic out there, and it was just, there was just so much love in this family. It was really fun, and I did not feel intimidated because everybody was strangers. But I thought, you're okay here, just do your own thing. That was
I
fun.
think I remember you playing your guitar.
Hmm.
That was fun.
Did you hate him too?
No, I didn't. Just you. Just you.
She was glad to see me go, apparently. Did you pick on her?
That's because Denise played Mystery Date with me.
That's right, and Poindexter. I remember
That's right.
that Poindexter.
Okay, Dave.
Poindexter.
Your turn.
Oh, I had so many memories going up to Grandma and Grandpa's house and seeing the cousins. It was always great to know that the rest of the cousins would be there eventually or shortly there, you know, after it was never the same without some of the cousins around. I mean, Grandma and Grandpa was fine, but, you know, you had to make your own fun then. Going out to those pine trees. I can remember jumping over them.
Yes.
And now I think they're like 50, 60 feet tall. I just, boggles the memory to get old.
Okay, Larry Eddie.
Lawrence Edward is more like it.
Yeah. I guess one of my favorites, I mean, it's probably not just at Perry Farm, was being able to sit around at night and listen to the uncles tell stories. Uncle Carl would get out his spoons and his little wood and tell his story and sing, and Uncle Bill and Uncle Don would tell jokes until the wee hours, or until we peed in our pants, one of the two. That's always probably one of the fondest memories, is sitting around and listening to the parents talk and tell stories of things that went on.
In those little aluminum chairs.
Oh yeah.
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 Yeah, I wish
Okay,
I had
John.
those aluminum chairs.
I know.
Those money, you know.
They'd be worth some money
I think
now.
I've seen replicas of them, and they're
Yeah.
real
Not the
expensive
same,
now.
though. Okay, John.
All right, mine. I think mine. Of course, we had tons, no doubt about that. But one that always brings back, I always think about, is all of us at one time or another, whether we're together or a few of us here and there, were climbing on the lumber piles,
Yes.
climbing around, jumping off,
Yep.
throwing stuff at each other, whatever. Just I remember so much climbing on that stuff.
All the leaves. That one area was so full of leaves when it fall.
The basement part.
That basement, yeah, that would fill up with leaves.
Yep.
Mm.
And I remember everybody daring everybody to go and jump in those leaves.
I don't think it was deep enough, but
Okay, Marta.
it was kind of dangerous around that thing.
Yeah.
Foundation had
All those
rebar. sticking
rebar.
out.
Right. Out, Denise impaled herself. Yeah, she fell on one off the wood right onto one of those
Very
rebar
fortunate it
things
didn't go
sticking out.
through.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, Marta.
Well, I think Denise and I had the luxury of being at Grandma and Grandpa's farm more than anyone because we just grew up there.
Yeah.
And the memory I have of the farm, but the cousins weren't there, was Grandpa always planted potatoes on Groundhog Day. And one year he asked me to help him dig potatoes out of the ground, and I did, and that was the dirtiest, filthiest, hottest, longest day of my life. And I will never dig potatoes for anybody again. But the story I remember with the cousins was me and Carla, Mutt and Jeff. Grandma and Grandpa had an old wooden croquet set. Wooden balls, wooden mallets. And she and I, this is when they were in the old house, not in the new garage that Grandpa built, but in the old house. And on the side yard, we had a game, Carla and I did. I don't know, did you play
I
where
remember you playing.
where we would, one of us would stand kind of over there and watch. The other one would take a croquet ball and throw it straight up in the air.
Oh.
And if it was going to hit us, the other one would say, "Run!" And we rarely got hit, but every once in a while we would get hit. Yeah, we'd get hit by a croquet ball, wooden croquet ball that we had thrown as high as we could throw it. So that's my story with Carla. One of the many games of of let's kill each other that we played.
Okay, Martha.
Well, I never went out to the farm, so I never met any of the Perrys. But after I got married to Dave, I was beginning to wonder because he told me, "You married a Logue." I thought, oh my God, the hillbillies from Arkansas. A Logue married another Logue. It's like, oh no.
Yes.
What have I gotten into?
Well, you know, when I went to my class reunion, I was Susan Lee Logue.
Oh.
Yeah. And they were like, "And you're from where?" And Arkansas. Oh, that
Well, that explains it.
yeah.
Yeah, we get that in West Virginia a lot too.
Yeah. Okay, and I'm not on camera, so I'll look on y'all. But I just remember the most going out to that stupid outhouse
Oh, yeah.
in the middle of the night and holding it so bad because I was scared.
It was scary.
A lot of spiders in there.
Spiders.
The big
Yeah.
Daddy
telling what
Longlegs.
was out
No
there.
telling
Bath
you.
in that
What was out there?
Yeah, in that
metal
tub.
tub.
Yeah,
Oh,
the-
Yeah.
I
Took a
took
bath
I
in
took
the
the bath
tub.
in the metal
Yeah.
tub.
And that
Taking a
sucker.
bath in a metal
Yeah.
tub.
I was a little shy.
And Grandma had these little porcelain things, I guess, that she'd had makeup in at one time, or perfume or something, and I'd take those out in the back of the house and play. Because I was this baby,
That's right.
and so I had nobody to play with.
Didn't have electricity and running
Poor
water.
baby.
I know.
Pump the water.
Pump
Yeah,
the water
you
and
pump the
Grandma
water.
cooked off that wood stove.
Yep.
Wow.
One of my favorites was when she made jams and jellies with
Yes.
the hot wax.
Uh-huh.
Oh, yeah, and that's what she sealed it with, the paraffin.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember
And
that.
she kept it in that building over there on the side, and I remember being scared of that.
Yeah,
Called the
little,
fruit cellar.
Yeah.
The little
little fruit. Yeah, the,
Fruit
She
cellar.
had all her
The well pump was
canned
in there too.
tomatoes and everything
Yep,
in
had
there.
a funny smell in there.
it did.
Yeah.
A dank, damp.
They all did.
Scary.
They all do.
Potatoes
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
onions and
Dead smell. And the attic. You know, sleeping in that one bed on the end,
yes.
and the attic stairs came right down. I didn't.
Susie,
Not a
okay, you're
4th of
starting to
July
scare me
goes
now.
by.
a little bit. It's dark out
The
here.
attic. Don't go in the attic.
Bears.
But not a 4th
Well,
of
it's
July
on
goes
that
by
side.
that I don't think of the fireworks that
Oh,
Grandpa
that's right.
bought
That's right.
Yes.
for us every year for
Yeah.
out at the farm. That was so much fun.
What was?
Fireworks.
Oh yeah.
4th of July.
Oh yeah.
Remember
Fourth
They'd
of
go
Friday?
buy
July
bags of
fireworks.
fireworks.
Did we make it over there?
Yeah.
It was a free for all.
It really was.
Back when we could buy them.
I remember that. Was I there?
Fireworks.
I think many
I-
times. I mean, a lot of times we got together.
I
Yeah,
don't
you
remember.
gotta shoot those off. Chase fireflies in the front yard
Mm-hmm.
all the time. In midsummer.
Where'd they all go? Hadn't seen any in a while.
We saw some this year.
Not like we used to.
But they were out in the country once upon a time. God.
I remember sitting outside. Everyone would sit out in the dark,
too
and
hot.
the first one that saw Sputnik go over. Do you remember looking for Sputnik in the
Yeah.
sky?
Our yard looking for Sputnik.
Yep, and we'd stare at the sky for hours trying to find Sputnik, and we'd find somebody'd see it, and they got an extra scoop of ice cream or something. That was the other thing. Grandpa's homemade. Listen to this.
Oh, yeah.
Homemade ice cream. I asked for his recipe for that homemade ice cream, and he gave it to me. And he had to hunt for it, but when he found it, it was written on the back of a check. A check from
Surprised me.
whatever his bank was. I can't remember the bank in Rogers, but it was written on the back of the check in his beautiful handwriting how to make his homemade ice cream. Yep.
It was a
I
can-
still have that.
Was it a canceled check?
And you had to crank
We had
it.
to crank
Yeah.
it too.
Was it
Made with electric.
a blank check or a canceled check?
It seemed it could have been a canceled check. I still have it at home. I'll have to look.
That's neat.
Yeah.
That's too funny.
That's
yeah,
neat.
We used to have to all take turns cranking
Cranking
the
it.
ice. Cranking
Wear
it
your
out.
arm out.
Yeah, we always made
Yeah.
our
That
own.
ice cream
No,
was
they would
good.
never ask me
No,
that.
just
Man.
wear your arm out.
Yeah,
Boy,
we-
it sure was good though.
I thought of something. It's not a cousin story, but it's your dad, your cousin,
My
so I
dad?
tell it anyway. The Bill Rand story. We were, and I still have it on a cassette tape somewhere. But we were singing songs, and he was recording them. And he had that one song, Mrs. High Tony, and doodle.
Yeah.
We're da-da-da-da-da-da.
Mrs. Maloney and Mrs. High Tony were ladies who lived on the street.
Yeah, and it went
The
on and on.
first had no wealth, but she had her good health
Here it
and a
comes.
grand bouncing baby of 3. The second one something and something and something. Something da-dum, da-da-da-da-dum. Anyway, it was which would you rather have on hand, a grandbaby or a baby grand?
Before he got to that
Yeah,
part,
and he'd go,
there's a
"Oh."
turnaround, and he would go, like Jackie Gleason. And on this tape, he goes, and then he just totally loses it. And I never heard him laugh like that. It was almost to the point of crying.
It
Just,
was.
and it goes on for like 5 minutes of Dad just totally losing it with laughter.
Any marshmallows?
I'm too full for marshmallows.
We have marshmallows.
We had marshmallows.
I will pass.
Bailey, are you cold?
I'm really full.
Oh, Bailey.
Look at those.
And nobody came, no one asked you about your favorite time?
Oh, let me go.
Y'all are crazy.
Oh Lord, if you hear my voice.
That's funny. Can you see him in this picture?
Just barely. I can see
look
his
much
little.
better in the dark.
I see his white spots, and that's about it.
There's that time when I chased the squirrel up the tree, and I almost caught it. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think I was at the farm either.
Squirrel.
I know that movie. That was so cute.
We do that all the time. Squirrel.
She's looking.
Okay. Good night. Say everybody say good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Thanks for coming.
Night, John Boy.
Night, John Boy.
I almost said that last night. Up in the loft.